Hey,
All right.
everybody. So I'm here with Sue, who
Mhm.
has come to the retreat, and we're going to hear her reactions to what it was like to first meet everyone in person and to be at the retreat.
Okay. So, I have met Dara in person previously, and I had met um, two of the other women who were at the retreat in person previously. So that was kind of fun because we see each other in calls throughout the course of the year, but to be able to see them in person and spend time with them again. It was also fun because I got to see through our discussions and coaching like how they had grown and changed in the last year, which was a lot of fun. Everyone was very nice. Everybody got along really well. Everybody, it's always a little different. I think sometimes seeing people in person, even though you've been on Zoom calls with them, there are always the little surprises about, oh, you're a little taller than I thought you were. Oh, you're a little shorter than I thought you were. Those kinds of things. But for the most part, it was pretty easy going. And like I said, I think everybody got along. It was a very nice group in terms of everybody pitched in, and if there was something that needed to happen, everyone was willing to help out, which was great. So,
What was the balance you found with like the amount of coaching we did to play and having interactions with each other?
um, I I think the balance for the most part was really good. Um, I I felt like for me, it may have been a little heavier on the coaching this year as compared to the previous year. And I'm not sure if it actually was or if that's just kind of my perception because of the things that I'm working
Mm.
on. But
So
no, the
that,
balance
yeah.
with play was good because we were so close to the beach, and we did lots of fun things,
Mhm.
certainly. But yeah, it's
That makes me curious because it's showing me that you were ready to receive more in the
mhm,
and sometimes like getting coached and taking that next step,
mhm.
it actually is uncomfortable. So I'm
Absolutely.
happy to hear that there was some discomfort because right
Oh yeah.
when we get to that point of I know I need to make some changes. So
Right. Right.
as a coach, as your coach, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. No, and I recognize that.
Mhm.
I recognize that um, you know, oftentimes when we're dealing with kind of more surfacey topics, or dealing with things just on a more surfacey level, it does not feel as intense.
Mhm.
It's even though the amount of time that you spend working on it might be the same or similar, when you're diving deeper into those more challenging levels, and looking at deeper levels of change, it I think feels more intense.
Yeah. Well, and also you've been doing this coaching for a few years now, and there's a level of intimacy that you have with yourself
Right.
that you didn't have before. And so being open to changing, that's great news.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
So was it worth the money?
Yeah, absolutely. No
And how can
question.
you say that without a question?
Um, I mean, okay, I can say that I knew before I went that it would be worth the money.
Hmm.
Um, I absolutely value coaching. I see the value in it, and knowing that I can have um, dedicated time without having to worry about, whether the dishes are done or the laundry's folded or the dog needs to be let out, whatever it is. And just knowing that I can have that time to think about my thoughts and me and where I want to go with things. to me, it's always worth it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And to get coaching on things that are maybe some stumbling blocks. Um, yes, absolutely. Always worth it.
Love it. Um, so if someone is asking you if they should go to the retreat, what
Mhm.
would you say for them? What would be the best preparation to come to a retreat like this?
I think the best preparation to come to the retreat is to, one, attend the calls really regularly. Two, whether you do the 90-day workbook. I mean, I think that is very valuable. I think that is a great kind of launching point in terms of working on your thought downloads and working models, but also doing that really regular journaling and with thought downloads and models. Those are the things, and attending the calls regularly, that I really think are extremely important. Because that's number one, it's just gonna your mind is gonna be in the right spot.
Mhm.
But also, when you have that kind of daily, whether it's a daily practice or whether it's 4 to 5 times a week, depending, then when you come to the retreat and you're needing to do any journaling, thought downloads, that kind of thing, it it's not like a new thing. It's not uncomfortable. It's you don't approach it like, oh, I'm not really sure how to do that, or I'm not, I don't really know what to do, or that kind of thing. And I just kind of feel like those are like really baseline skills that need to be in place before you do a retreat.
Coming to a higher level like this.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because this is this is the highest touch other than working with me one-on-one. It's
Right.
the highest touch. And even saying that a one-on-one is 1 hour every week, whereas this is
Right.
like full six
Right.
hours coaching a day and then
Right.
activity and
Right.
times together. So it's a very concentrated time. So that's
It
a really
is. Yeah.
so people who are on the fence trying to decide if they should spend the money, if they
Mhm.
should travel, what would you say to them?
I would say go ahead and do it. I would say go ahead and do it. That said, I do think it's really important that you have a good understanding of what is going to happen. I mean, obviously, until you actually go through it, you don't have like that innate understanding, but that you understand the amount of time that is going to be spent in coaching, and that you're really willing to do that and to stay focused and to participate as a group member. I just think I would say do it, if with the caveat of, if you aren't prepared to do that, if you don't want to do the prep work, if you don't want to do the journaling, then maybe you're not ready to do a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah.
you really are interested in going in depth to make positive changes and you're willing to do the work, then absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think I have seen where if you don't really know, this is not a quilt retreat. This is
No,
not like we just sit around and
no.
stitch and chat. This is not. We do that at
We eat
night.
chocolate snacks. We don't do that.
No, we don't. No. This is not that. And that this is a good time to say it. Generally, the schedule is 9 o'clock to 12, we do coaching. Then we have 2 to 12 to 2 is lunch and a break.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 to 5 is coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is if you want dinner, great. And we'll usually those people who want to sit around and stitch
Right.
can do that. And so that is the schedule. we have occasionally, like we went on a whale watching tour this past time.
Right.
We've done some other different kinds of excursions that might take a little bit out of that kind of
Right. Exactly.
but yeah, this is intense and it's amazing. So just to conclude, as you've had some time to, a few days out now from the retreat, how have you changed the way you think about yourself because of that experience?
I think I'm recognizing that I I can trust myself to innately know what is the best thing for me. Um, I mean, I think I've always known that on some level, but I have not always honored that. And so there were some things I worked through on the retreat and some things that I started working through that I'm still working through. That really reminded me in a very strong way that I do know innately what is the right course of action for me. And I just need to trust that and not base my choices on what I believe other people's expectations are, or what their idea is that's best for me.
Right. Right.
And so I think that for me is the biggest thing that I've taken away from this retreat.
Well, and that's amazing because in Love Yourself Thin, we all become our own best CEOs. We actually, no one knows us better than we know ourselves. And as you use the tools for Love Yourself Thin, you learn how to go deeper inside you and really find what is like who you really are. So I love that that was your big takeaway.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing your experience. It was
Sure.
such a delight to see you.
Yes.
And
Very good to see you as
I know
well.
this experience, people watching this video, you've learned so much more. It will help them make that decision.
Absolutely.